Breeze.com of the passing of Muriel P. Lemoy, 72, formerly of Lincoln, who died April 23rd at Health Park Medical Center in Fort Myers, Florida. She was the beloved wife of George J. Lemoy. They would have celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary August 8th of this year. Born in Pawtucket, Muriel was a graduate of Lincoln High School and Rhode Island College. She taught in the elementary grades of Lincoln Public Schools for 33 years before retiring in 2003. In addition to her husband, she's survived by one daughter, Courtney Givens, a granddaughter, Stella Givens, both of Fort Myers, Florida. She was the sister of Joan Damaris of Lincoln. In lieu of flowers, contributions to the Family Literacy Center in Manville would be appreciated. Muriel P. Lemoy of Lincoln. Further details on these and many other death notices available at valleybreeze.com, free of charge.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON, Woonsocket Radio, ON, AM, and FM.
Russ Oliver writes on the front page of today's Woonsocket Call, at least 19 residents of Woonsocket's Oakland Grove Health Care Center have died with COVID-19. But Mary Byrne is pleased to report she's not one of them. Like so many of her friends at the Cumberland Hill Road facility, where there more than 50 residents are also infected with the virus, Byrne, too, contracted the deadly affliction. But she was still around to celebrate her 100th birthday this week, and her health has been steadily improving. She has a picture of herself taken, you'll see it on the front page of the Call today, for the occasion, carrying a sign bearing the good news, "I made it," she says. Byrne's odds-beating birthday party on Wednesday became the centerpiece of a pep rally at Oakland Grove, which is among the state's hardest hit by COVID-19. According to regularly updated figures released by the State Department of Health, only the Golden Crest Nursing Home in North Providence, Orchard View Manor in East Providence, and Oak Hill Health and Rehab Center in Pawtucket have a higher death toll than Oakland Grove. And so, with help from Mayor Lisa Baldelli-Hunt and the city's police and firefighters, Noel Pinsence, a venerable local crooner with a flair for the dramatic invention, serenaded Byrne on the occasion of...
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email at joe@onesocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel on ON 1240, WOON, Woonsocket Radio.
Good morning to you. It's Friday morning. It's May 1st on the Coffee and program. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Joe Callahan. Let's say good morning and hello to the Coffee and panel. Tom Ward from the Valley Breeze. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Joe.
Nice to have you here with us.
Thank you.
Make it through the raindrops okay?
I did. It was quite the raindrops, I gotta say.
I hope the top was up on the convertible.
Yeah, that's actually in the shop. It's we're doing a few things before we get it on the road.
Ah, smart. Okay. Also joining us today, Paul Willett from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. Good morning, Paul.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Good. You didn't have to deal with the raindrops at all this morning, right?
No, I just walked upstairs, and because it's Coffee Ann, I do have my cup of coffee, and I stay dry.
Excellent, excellent. And Dave Richards he's skulking around somewhere, right, Dave?
I am.
All right.
All right, I'll remember to skulk then.
Don't
I
go
was
too
smiling, enjoying listening to the program, but if you wish, I could skulk. I have that depth of ability.
All right. Don't go anywhere, though. We're going to ask Dave a question. Right. But time for a first message from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. So, Paul, first message from you, please.
Well, thank you, Joe. We continue to be busy at the Chamber. We're evolving our business model just like everybody else, and we have a lot of things going on, and Monday is a good example. We have Member Monday, and that's going to take place virtually, of course, from 4 to 5. And this coming Monday is going to be kind of interesting because one of our members, White Dog Distilling in Pawtucket, is going to be doing a demonstration on a few special cocktails that they're going to be making. And I drove down there yesterday and they got a pretty good curbside service. So I picked up what they call kits, cocktail kits of what they're going to be sampling on Monday, and I ordered it over the phone. I drove down there. I drove up, tooted the horn. Someone came out, put it in the back of my SUV, and I didn't have to have contact with anybody. So that's going to be a pretty cool thing, a demonstration on Monday. And on May 5th, we're having a virtual conversation with Senator Jack Reed. He's going to be updating folks on the COVID-19 situation, what's going on at the national level, and what the delegation has brought here to Rhode Island. And then we have a whole slew of virtual seminars coming up, and I'm not going to name them all, but there are many. I would advise people, if they're interested in learning more about all the events that we have going on at the Chamber of Commerce, to visit our website at nrichamber.com, or you can give us a call. We're still monitoring the phones, even though we're not totally physically in the office. Some come and go, but we do have the ability to retrieve messages and phone calls. So 334-1000 is the phone number, and nrichamber.com is the website address.
Paul, this is Dave. May I make another suggestion?
Sure.
If you're running a business, even from home, call the Chamber, become a member. It all comes to you in your email inbox.
Well, thank you, sir, and that's a good point. We are, there are a lot of people who, believe it or not, are very busy during this pandemic, depending on the type of business you're in. This is a good time to be aware of everything that the Chamber has to offer. And, we will be coming out of this. As a matter of fact, we do have some seminars coming up on how to position yourself to come out of this. And, don't forget about marketing. Marketing is a big part of what you do, and the Chamber can help you with that. So, very good point, David. Thank you.
Well, I find it a comfort, Paul, that I don't have to worry about going out to a website to find things, because sometimes, frankly, I'm just busy and I don't get the chance.
Yeah.
But when it comes into the inbox, right into my friendly little Northern Rhode Island Chamber sub box, I see that there's something there, and I can look at it immediately and take very little time out of my schedule and still get all the information.
And that's a good point, because in addition to, going to White Dog to pick up the kit last night, my wife and I have been very conscientious about, ordering takeout from one of our members at least once a week. And,
yes.
We called up Palmer Restaurant in Smithfield, and Dave Ashworth, who has Woonsocket ties, former.
We know Dave very well.
And so, same thing, called, gave him a charge card number over the phone, and I pulled up and called him when I got there, and both Dave and his wife, Laura, came out, put our goods in the back of the SUV. Again, we didn't have to have a close contact, so there are, businesses who have just kind of rethought about how they do business. And he, in talking to Dave, he said, never did takeout before. And he said, this is a whole new ball game for me, but we're starting to get the hang of it. And, he's pleased with the amount of orders that have been coming in.
All right, Paul, cool. Dave, did you have a follow-up?
Well, I was only going to say that the fabulous Denise and I are getting pretty good at doing the takeout thing. In fact, I think Denise sometimes likes it better. She does love her TiVo and her TV, so she can go home and watch that instead of being out in the restaurant. I don't know, but I mean, we've got a triple header going. We're eating out tonight and tomorrow and Sunday, all at our sponsors' places. And we've already made our plans ahead of time.
Excellent.
I won't say which sponsors, because I really don't want to make anybody feel bad, because there's only 3 days for what we're talking about here, and there's a lot more sponsors. So I won't mention which ones, but we get to them all on a rotating basis.
So, Paul, this kit you picked up, you can then, on the webinar, you can then follow along and make the cocktail at home?
That's right. It's
All right.
It's a complete kit, which includes, the alcohol. There are some syrups that are added to these drinks, and right along with the ginger beer, which is not alcoholic, by the way. It's
Oh, good. I was going to worry about that. Has anybody seen that sign that's been going around on the social media? In 20 years, this country will be run by kids who are homeschooled by day drinkers. I thought you'd like it, Tom. Have you seen it?
I didn't know.
You haven't seen that one?
No.
Well, it's funny you mention that because I did see something on the news, and they were interviewing a couple who were sitting there in their pajamas, and it was in the morning, and they were sitting there. They had Baileys in their coffee, so some people are doing it.
Well, you can. I mean, okay, fine. You're not hurting anybody.
I have seen the picture going around.
But there's also other, rumors going around that liquor sales are up like 200%. Wow. So you don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
But Dave, I wouldn't dispute that because in speaking to our members, we do have a liquor store in Cumberland who's a member, and talking with him, he said just about every day is like Christmas week.
Wow.
They've been very busy, and he said, we have lines at the registers just like a holiday week. So, they are doing well.
Well, it's just a different environment now because, and this is not to, knock anybody or anything, but when you're home all the time, you can, everyone knows liquor is less expensive, at home than if you go to a restaurant or something like that. And if you're home all the time, even at lunch, if you're working from home or something,
Sure.
You're one of those people working
You're not
going to
be driving.
It's like, I'm not driving anywhere, and it's like, what's the harm of a single beer? So it's just a single beer. But over the course of a week, it's almost a six-pack. And then and it's something you would have never normally had,
Right.
When you went to work every day. And
Yep.
so it's just that little bit more, every day. Or maybe you have more wine with the dinner because, again, you're not going anywhere that night. You're home. What the heck?
Exactly.
And so, I guess it makes sense. I wouldn't have thought of that. I didn't know that. And but
you're
when you
not a
think
big
about it,
drinker in the first
I'm not. I barely drink. I got the same bottle of Maker's Mark on my shelf. It's been there for 8 months, and that's it. There's no other.
I had to throw away a couple of bottles of beer because they've been in there for almost 2 years.
Yeah, I do that. I get some of those too. My son-in-laws have those fancy beers, and I tell them,
Sure.
I said, look, I just drink this, and I can't possibly, Thanksgiving and stuff. It's like, bring your own, because you guys get this weird beer. And so they always bring too many of their own. And now they go in my fridge, and, the other day, May? And the other day I said to my son-in-law, I said, keep looking in the fridge, please. That stuff goes back to Thanksgiving. I'm never going to touch it. So drink it, please. And they usually will have one or two, but then they get old. But yeah, to your point, it did not occur to me that liquor sales would be up like that, but it makes perfect sense.
It's funny. There is a TV commercial for some liquor, and I can't remember which one it's for, but they still say at the end, please drink responsibly. And I saw for one of them last night, and I turned to my wife and said, why?
Oh, no. Well, wait a minute. You got to always drink responsibly, even if you're home.
If you're home, have as much as you want.
Responsibly covers a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah,
you can burn your house down if you get drunk and hit the wrong thing or whatever.
I think we know where Joe's going here. You can be a little bit more careless at home if you're not going anywhere in this day and age.
Worry about,
but you don't want to go over the edge.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about being over that percentage, the legal limit, because you don't have to drive anywhere.
And there is a
listen,
sign.
guys, we're getting close to encouraging everyone to get drunk, so let's,
Okay, and
go easy here.
And here's more. There's a picture I saw making the rounds on social media. It wasn't around here, I don't believe. It was somewhere in the United States. But it was for a liquor store, and they have one of those marquees on the outside pointing, the liquor store's this way. And on the sign, it said school supplies inside.
That's graduation time.
That's pretty funny marketing right there.
Yeah.
Let's put a few pencils with the impulse buys at the cash register.
Yeah, raise a few eyebrows.
Absolutely. All right, we asked Dave to stick around because Dave has a pretty nice announcement that I asked him to make on. And so go ahead, Dave.
Well, I got this email yesterday afternoon, Joe and Tom and Paul and everybody listening in, that really opened my eyes. And I said, I mentioned it to Joe yesterday afternoon in the course of our long-distance communications. He seemed pretty impressed, so I guess I'm impressed too. Yesterday there was an announcement made of the 43rd annual Boston New England Emmy Award nominations, and a project that we were part of has been nominated for an Emmy Award.
Oh.
You will remember back in December, on December 14th, that many broadcast stations in Rhode Island broadcast at the same time the program "It's Okay Not to Be Okay" at the beginning of the whole push there. We continue to make announcements on that since. And so being nominated for an Emmy Award in the Societal Concerns Programming Special Program Department was pretty cool. So our congratulations go out to Rhode Island Broadcasting Association members and senior producer Betty Jo Cugini, who was a lovely girl to work with, I'll tell you, and Margie O'Brien, the anchor, Walt Buteau, Katie Davis, and Ellie Romano, reporters from the various stations in Providence. And when they mentioned it, they mentioned Channel 10, Channel 12, Channel 6, iHeartMedia, and WOON.
Excellent. Well, congratulations.
I'm on the board of directors.
So this is just a Rhode Island effort, is what you said.
This was a statewide Rhode Island effort.
But it's the New England
And when we were
Emmys.
putting it together, I'm on the board of directors of the Broadcast Association, so I told them just then that when we were planning the program, I said there should be one date, one time, all Rhode Island media broadcast this, all at the same time. And they said, well, gee, that's almost impossible. I says, impossible? Well, let's try it anyway. And indeed, I mean, there were quite a number of radio stations that didn't participate. But you even had Rhode Island PBS participate. So you had the four basic television groups in Rhode Island all participated, plus iHeartMedia, plus one of their stations, and WOON was singled out by call letters. Which is very nice because we're kind of independent, so we didn't get lumped into other groups. But we were the ones that did it, and I told the board, and it just stuck. I said, if you want people to think it's important, you have to show them it's important to us. Important enough to us to inconvenience ourselves, to change programming, to take something off the air and put this special program on the air so everybody will get it. Mm-hmm. And they agreed with me. And so we pushed for it there, and it was December 14th. I remember broadcasting it. Very, very, very well done. I mean, I was proud. I mentioned to all the other members and to our executive director, Laurie Needham, at the time, I mentioned to all of them, I said, the production values on this show were something to be proud of. Mm-hmm. Seriously, top-rate television, and it held up very well on the radio as well. So that's very cool.
Well
It's
done.
Okay Not to Be Okay program was nominated for an Emmy Award. We'll see if we win it.
When do the awards
It doesn't
come
say
out?
that in this email. I'm sure somebody's figured it out, except that they probably haven't figured out how to have it with the social distancing yet.
Yep.
So that may be what's kind of convoluting
that's-
all of that.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. My daughter has been part of something. She hasn't won an Emmy yet, but she's been part of teams with her ad agency, and it's always a spring. It's like a May or June dinner.
Mm-hmm.
But of course,
Yeah.
they're not going to have
Generally,
a dinner,
yeah.
so-
June was always AP.
Yeah,
and,
something like that. So it was. So congratulations! I think that's fabulous. Good for you.
Congratulations to all the broadcasters and the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association and those wonderful people who actually produced the program themselves. A lot of work. Well done.
And you hear it a lot, award shows, and people say, "Oh, it's just an honor to be nominated."
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
Yeah. course it is. It means somebody noticed your good work.
It's amazing. It feels great.
It should.
Yeah, you don't do it for the awards, but it's nice recognition.
No. It is nice to get the recognition.
Furthest thing from our mind. That's why I was so surprised yesterday when the email came out to us all, congratulating
It's
all
very
of us.
cool.
All right.
Well, let us know when you hear the news
sure.
about the winners and stuff. But
Will
good
do.
for you guys.
Sure. We have to take a break here on Coffee In. We do have a message to get to. We will when we come back, but let's get a second message from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. So back to you, Paul.
Well, thank you. I mentioned earlier about the event. We just want the business community to know that the Chamber is, we're still here, we're strong. We are monitoring the latest information that becomes available for businesses. We tune in daily to listen what's happening, and we update our website with any information that would be of value to businesses. So this is a time when you can take a couple of steps back and take a look at your business model if you're currently closed, and talk to other people. That there are a lot of experts out there who have been working very hard in trying to get you through this and what it's going to be like on the other side. Things may not be, or things won't be, normal in a sense that what we've been used to. That you're going to have to take a look at things, and just going into stores now, aisles are marked one way. I mean, if you go in a supermarket, you see arrows, and you can only go up and down an aisle one way. So there's a lot of things to consider. But give us a call at the Chamber. We can help you with those resources. This isn't a time to just lay down and play dead. This is a time to just get ready, because things will be turning around. And we welcome you to visit our website to take a look at the resources that we have and everything that's going on, and also give us a call at 334-1000. Someone will get back to you, and we'd be happy to talk to you about all that we have to offer the business community. So thank you.
Okay, Paul, more Coffee Ins coming your way. Please stay tuned.
Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group, 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. Our telephone number is 765-8880. At the Carew Investment Group, we offer personal management of investment accounts, and depending on what you're looking for, we can create a portfolio that provides you with current income, invest for growth for the future, and of course our primary focus, which is managing retirement money from client rollovers of their 401k plan after they leave the workforce. Whatever your goals are, we can put together a program to assist you. And remember, I've been in the business of investing for clients for over 30 years, helping people just like you with their investments. So call me at 765-8880. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Gotta Q Smokehouse Barbecue is currently closed, but you can still have their delicious barbecue. Just order ahead with your credit card either by phone or go online. A Gotta Q Smokehouse Barbecue team member will bring your food to you when you arrive. Mike at Gotta Q Smokehouse Barbecue thanks all his patrons for their continued support as we get through this crisis together. Don't forget, Gotta Q Smokehouse Barbecue gift cards can be purchased. Gotta Q Smokehouse Barbecue in the Sierra Plaza, Mendon Road, Cumberland.
Levante's Auto School is the area's award-winning school serving Rhode Island and Massachusetts since 1971. They provide flexible class schedules throughout the year, emphasizing all aspects of alert, defensive driving, and keeping up with all the latest technology. For more information, visit their website at levantesautoschool.com to learn more about their school and about the compliments from parents and students. When it's time, call Levante's Auto School at 1-877-DRIVE-ED. Levante's 1-877-DRIVE-ED.
And now, Levante's Auto School is certified by both Rhode Island and Massachusetts to teach the driver's training course over the Internet. No need to wait. Call now.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
We're local and live at 99.5.
Thank you, Dave. And yes, it's Coffee and on ON, AM, and FM. This is Joe Callahan here with Tom Ward, Paul Willett. Dave Richards is with us as well. And we're going to get to that message right now. You are here.
But I don't know why I'm here. Okay.
Just because we want you here.
He's the boss.
Yeah, he's the boss. He's got to pour the coffee, right, Tom?
Yep, that's right. That's the deal.
All right. Now, we did get a message that's been written into me, and you can write in the message as well to Joe at woonsocketradio.com.
Dear Joe.
They don't even put that. They just jump right in.
Oh.
They forget the niceties, but that's okay. I'm fine with it. Person just writes, wow, no Newport Jazz and Folk Festival. First time in 60 years. What a blow.
You ain't seen nothing yet. How about no Bristol 4th of July parade?
No Little League World Series. And that's in August.
And I haven't heard about Arnold Mills, but if they're not going to do Bristol because the state says they can't, I'm not sure how they're going to get away with Cumberland's Arnold Mills.
I'm pretty sure that'll be canceled.
Well,
no Little
season. But I hesitate to say it, you know, because people take it the wrong way.
No, I'm on the committee, but I'm new on the committee, so I don't even want to claim I'm on the committee. But I've been to their meetings, and Joyce has been is going to hold a virtual meeting next week to talk to everybody.
Right.
So it has not been canceled yet.
Right.
But is it in trouble?
But the governor said no 4th of July parade in Bristol.
Pretty much. Yeah.
You know, so when the governor says it on TV, well, okay,
yeah,
fine. But we don't know about Arnold Mills yet. Maybe there's a way to do it. It's a smaller parade. Maybe they can distance. Who knows?
Well, you have a parade. The only way you can do it is have a parade with no crowd, and then you say, "What's the point of that?"
Well, no. If the crowd all distanced and had gloves and masks,
yeah, that ain't going to happen.
On the 4th of July with the sun beating down on them.
First of all, I don't think Gina would allow that. Frankly, I don't think.
Yeah,
she'd allow
that's it. But she didn't mention it yet, so maybe we're still under the
radar.
radar.
We'll wait and see. Joyce is the boss. She's learning more.
Yeah.
We'll have a meeting next week, and we'll see what comes out of it. But I don't know. I have no.
I thought for sure, you know, as this was going along, do you know that I've been privy to some information that I can't give you details and stuff, but I'll give you the general thing. There is a very well-respected doctor who has told me and my colleagues in another setting that, you know, you ask me the question, I'm going to give you the answer. He's a real straight talker. And you thought you were going back out for 4th of July? No. Forget about it. And you start arguing with him. He said, do you want my opinion or do you not? He's a physician. He's in the business. He knows what he's talking about. And he's a straight shooter. And we said, you're kidding me. He said, no, it's like this. And we say, why? And he said, it's like this. Because the people didn't die. Because when this first hit the shores, we were talking about 2 million people dying. And we're at 60,000 plus. 60,000, terrible. But it's not anywhere close to 2 million, which means it's still lingering around in pockets out there with people who aren't showing signs.
Right.
Which
the
means
longer
it's going
we flatten
to
the curve, the worse the economy is going to get.
Right. And he said, you're never going to hear me say, because he didn't say it, you're never going to hear me say we'd have been better off to have it like crash on the beach or like a big tidal wave and everybody dies and then it's all over with. He said, no, we weren't better off that way. But there's consequences for not having those big high death tolls. The consequences are you're dragging out the pain longer.
Right. And that's I mean, the doctor is exactly right. My wife said the same thing. First of all, 2 million people wouldn't have died, but my wife said the same thing.
Well, that's what they were saying.
They should have just let it ride through because they were already finding places where many hundred, by a factor of 10 times more people have had it than they thought have had it, but it was just a little nothing, and they didn't even know they were sick.
Right.
And they're finding this all over the place. And when the final story is written, if it's written honestly, and I'm not sure it will be.
Now the winners write history.
The winners write history. That's exactly right. And if the winners are a certain political inclination in this country, they'll write the history, and it'll be a lie. But I think this is calamitous and the worst thing America's ever done to itself. And I can't prove it now. And I'll be gone in a couple of weeks. And and I won't be around to talk about it anymore, but I think the day will dawn where we're going to look at ourselves and say, what have we done? Why did we destroy the greatest country on earth? And it won't be fully destroyed. I mean, it's not going to be like in ashes. It's not going to be Hiroshima. But we are doing damage untold to this country right now. And it's still, we're getting away with it now because people still have money in their pockets and stuff like that. But that's going to run out. I mean, I listen to people talk about, 1/10 or 1/8 or whatever it is this week of the amount of people who are unemployed in this country. And I'm like, that's the people who are fully unemployed. What about the people who had 2 jobs and they've still got their first job and the second job was a waitress job or something like that, a part-time job? They've lost the part-time job. They still have their full job. They're not even in the figures of unemployment.
Right.
And so there's all of the tens of millions of those people,
But
too.
even with what you just said being true, did you see our headline this morning from Massachusetts? A quarter of Massachusetts workers are unemployed.
A quarter.
A quarter.
It's unbelievable. People, I'm telling you, this is a calamity untold. This is you've seen the stock market crash and then the stock market rebound. Now it's starting to go down again. This is not over, not by a long shot. And I don't know. This is scary stuff, scariest stuff in my life, because I happen to believe, and I know people say, well, you tend to be more pessimistic, maybe, but this whole dragging out the economy. Well, our front page story this week on the Stadium Theater is a perfect example. Stadium Theater is basically dead till fall now, and it may go longer than that, just because Gina says so, and Gina says follow the science. And I don't believe the science anymore, frankly. They have switched gears and switched numbers so often that why should I believe her? Why should I believe the science? If we all came together, would more people die? Yeah. But okay, maybe another 500. I don't know. There's 1 million people here. But then we'd all be herd immune and we'd be fine and we could get on with our lives. Because what they don't measure, you say, well, 500 death, every life is valuable. Yeah, okay, all true. But in the meantime, in this slow motion disaster that we've now created across the country, how many people are going to lose their businesses, perhaps go on to suicide, go on to drug abuse, how many lives are going to be lost in many different ways over the next 6 months because the economy is in ruins? How many of those are going to be? Do those people count? No, Gina's not counting those. But they're out there, and they're real, and there's going to be all kinds of pain. People might go to extreme circumstances. They might lead to, who knows, murder, suicide, all kinds of stuff that are really going to be bad things over the next 6 months because we decided to lock down society. I think it's a mistake. But I'm not the governor. So, people who talk like me are getting ridiculed, are getting beaten up, are being pulled off social media. We're not allowed to have a free voice anymore. As I was talking to Dave earlier, because Mark Zuckerberg decided on Facebook that his platform, the biggest platform in the world, will choose sides. If you protest the government, he will pull your stuff down. He said that this week. So, I think we're in a heap of trouble, and I don't think this is anywhere near over. And I think that to the doctor's point, the longer they drag this out, I said it in my column 3 weeks ago. When you flatten the curve, you lengthen the curve. Just look at the curves they show you. They show you the pictures, and it's like, oh yeah, now the curve is flattened, but it's a lot longer. And so where does all this money go? Oh, it goes to bail out the convention center. The convention center in Providence is a loser. It's been a loser since day one. Now it's a field hospital because there's money involved. I mean, it's just, we are wasting money hand over fist for stupid stuff. And everybody thinks they're heroic. And it's like, just look at the hospitals. The hospitals, supposedly these magic kingdoms are doing God's work. And they are, those who are treating COVID and working overtime and stuff like that. The rest of the hospital is dying because nobody's going to the hospital anymore. And all these, and by the way, what about all the pain out in the community right now by somebody who needs a hip or somebody who needs a knee or somebody, and they're in pain and they're excruciating pain and they can't do anything about it because the hospitals, are essentially closed. What about those people, Gina? Let's talk about them. So this is a calamity, and we have fundamentally changed the American way of life for the worse. And I don't know how we climb out of this hole. I really don't.
All right, we're going to take a break on Coffee and we will get back to the rest of the message, by the way, that was written in. But we got to give you the
cue Happy Days Are Here Again, Dave.
The music is sponsored by CVS. So today we got cloudy skies and rain this morning. Rain could be heavy at times. High temperature today will be near 66. Winds could gust as high as 28 miles per hour. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, and it'll be mostly cloudy with a low of 48. Not as windy tonight. Saturday's forecast, sunny and a high near 69. Saturday night, mostly cloudy, low around 47. Sunday, mostly cloudy with a very slight chance of showers, high near 72. Monday, mostly sunny and a high near 65. And currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, where it's raining, and we have 53 degrees. Get free 1 to 2 day delivery of prescriptions and store essentials from CVS. Visit them online or call your local CVS to learn more. Restrictions apply. Coffee and continues. Please stay tuned.
Hey, can you use some good news? What a question. Well, how's this? The Village Haven will continue its chicken family-style takeout-only run this Friday and Saturday from 3 to 7 p.m. and Sunday from 1 to 6 p.m. The trial run was successful beyond expectations, so the hours are being extended. You must wear a mask and follow the social separation markings. The operation runs so smoothly, you'll be in line for only a brief time, and then your order will be in your hands in a couple of minutes. Cinnamon rolls and chicken soup are also available. Hallelujah! Your Village Haven Chicken Family Style Fix to Go will be waiting for you this Friday and Saturday from 3 to 7 p.m. and Sunday from 1 to 6 p.m. at 90 School Street, Forestdale. There are still reasons to smile.
Old Orchard Farm is open and ready to serve you right through October. They'll begin with their busy spring season featuring hundreds of annuals, hanging plants, arrangements, and green plants. Later, they'll feature fresh fruits and vegetables, including all the native produce. Come enjoy their outdoor courtyard stocked with hundreds of annuals, versatile and ideal for large spaces and small areas. Add color to a shady spot. Ask Luke about compatible varieties for early spring and summer. Old Orchard Farm, located on Old River Road, Manville. Also featuring fresh eggs, Rhode Island honey, garden tools, potting mix, and outdoor decor. Old Orchard Farm, a little bit of country near the city.
Hi, this is Don Brunell inviting you to join us on the Midday Show every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday with the Super Quiz, great oldies, and interesting guests.
Don Brunell returns to the Midday Show Tuesday, May 5th at 1 p.m. here on ON, AM, and FM.
Coffee and on ON Radio. Joe Callahan here, along with Tom Ward and Paul Willett. Dave Richards is here as well. And Tom, time for first message from the Valley Breeze newspaper.
Thank you, Joe. Well, we just want to remind everyone, if they haven't already, pick up the Valley Breeze. And this week's, to try to get a little bit, one of the things they can't stop is spring. And as much as the politicians might try, spring is here, and the ground is warming, and things are going to be planted, and there's things to do, and people are going to get out and hopefully not get into the gardens with a mask on. But anyway, we've got in this week's paper a springtime home and garden little magazine with that offers all kinds of help. If you haven't picked up this week's Breeze, it's all there with all kinds of stuff to do around the house. Certainly there are some roofers in here too, and certainly last night you figured out if you need a roofer or not. It was quite the downpour in the last 6 hours. And so if you need a roof, now's a good time to pick up your Valley Breeze. Look through the magazine as well. Many of these people also advertise in the paper. We appreciate their service.
Glossy full color, Tom.
It is
Very
glossy
attractive.
full color magazine on all the spring.
Are those
home and
lilacs on the
garden
front cover?
Business directories. Yep, looks like a lilac.
My mother's
yep.
favorite flower.
Yep, very pretty ones. So anyway, that's in this week's Valley Breeze. There are other things coming up in the near future, because spring is a great time of year. If you need to talk to us, give us a call at 334-9555 or visit us at valleybreeze.com. And you may not get answered right away, but Rhonda is there. People are usually there during regular business hours, or you can find their emails. They also check their phone messages. Everyone checks their phone messages from home. So you can always get through. It might take a little bit longer to get a reply, but we're happy to serve you. 334-9555. Thank you.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
I know she didn't ask for the temperature. It's 54 degrees outside, but I have a message from the audience, but we were still in mid-message from the email, right?
Yes.
All right. You're the moderator. You call the shot.
Let me get back to that one. When the writer says no Little League World Series, that's in August. There's probably be no Little League season this year. Kids must be heartbroken. This is unbelievable.
We would have started 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were scheduled to broadcast it on TV.
And we're thinking of reopening the economy. Seems like the curve is not flattening, something that Tom kind of brought up. Looks like we are preparing for Surge 2 of COVID-19. Instead, looks like we're in for a cold summer.
Well, it's the curve is flattening. I mean, they've done a decent job of not having. Yeah, and they've done a decent job of tamping it down. But as we were saying, because it's tamped down, it's never ending. If people were out there communicating, there would be more people dead, but people would be getting what they call herd immunity. There'd be an immunity building up over 99% of the people. There'd be 2 or 3% who'd be getting sick. There might be 8% who'd be getting the flu, and 92% would get immune. And we're stopping that. And for the life of me, I just don't understand where some of these politicians are coming from. And I said it 3 weeks ago in the case of Governor Raimondo. I said she can only continue to behave this way because she believes that she's going to be bailed out by the federal government. Because if the federal government ever said to the governor, okay, after July 1st you're on your own, because we can't print any more money, so you're on your own, she would change. She would change the way she's doing things because we can't afford it.
Tommy, the numbers that we're seeing here is $156 million has already been committed to fighting the pandemic. The federal government has given us $1 billion, the state of Rhode Island.
1.5, yeah.
And you know that there's money there because the fight has already begun on who gets the right to spend it. The legislature has gotten together their little pandemic committee on spending. And they say they demand the right to make the decisions on where the money goes. The governor says, nope, sorry, it's the executive. It's my money. I'll spend it the way I want. And the fight has begun.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's right. But $1.5 billion. But $1.5 billion isn't going to be enough. I mean, just look at the losses at Rhode Island and Women and Infant Care New England and Lifespan had more than $100 million in losses just last month, 1 month. So, I think some of the bailout's going to go to hospitals, and that's fine. I have no quarrel with that. But you're right. I mean, Gina has come right out and said, oh, no, this is my money to spend. You people have nothing to do with it. There's certainly going to be a constitutional challenge to that. I don't know how it's going to wind up. But it's not enough. It's not enough to fill in all the whole, the unemployment fund, the pension damage. It's not enough. So they'll be back for more. But if somebody said to Gina Raimondo tomorrow, that's it, $1.5 billion is all you're ever getting, so make it work, I can guarantee you she'd be thinking we have to reopen the economy. We have to start reopening this economy.
Well, she's holding fast on May the 9th while Governor Baker up in Massachusetts pushed it out to the 18th.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're right. Around the Boston area, they have bigger problems. Why Baker... again, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, it doesn't make much sense. It's a small state. You're not going to have a different situation. Although my brother pointed out to me the other day that
which one?
Vinny. You look at Western Rhode Island and Southern Rhode Island, the beaches. There's nothing there. There's no problems there. So theoretically, you can open those areas up. She won't, of course. But if you look at Charlie Baker, you do kind of wonder why, from Worcester on west perhaps couldn't be opened up a little bit. Nothing's going to open completely. But yeah, I mean, just the economic damage of I don't know, a Six Flags or a whatever. I mean, just think of what we're talking about now, where nobody's driving anywhere. We pay 23 cents a gallon, I think, for gas taxes. I don't know. Paul might know the Rhode Island gas tax, 7 or 8 cents. I don't know. All that money's not coming into
Rhode Island. It was in the 40s.
What?
When you put it all together.
Oh, you put it all together. Yeah, I think federal's 23. I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the number. But the point is, all that money's not being collected. Look at all the income taxes not being collected. Look at the sales taxes not being collected.
Well, but you got to feel good about this. You do pay income tax on your unemployment benefits in Rhode Island.
Well, I guess that's
something.
You
got to feel good about that.
but it's the point is the government is going to begin starving here, and the only reason Gina keeps going on is because she believes that she'll be bailed out no matter what decision she makes, and I think that's where I'm glad that there is some common sense. I know Mitch McConnell is the Senate Majority Leader. Talked about it this week, where he said, when we start bailing out the state, the House is already like, come on back, we want to bail out the states, da-da-da-da-da. And then you just do a story, and McConnell's like, well, wait a minute, we're not going to bail out Illinois. Illinois is like, just give us, 10, 20 billion, we'll be good. And they're already talking about filling the pension fund. And McConnell went crazy. He said, wait a minute, you've mismanaged the pension fund for 20 years. You have incredibly generous, we're talking about the Chicago Transit, the Chicago teachers, all these people who have unbelievably generous pensions. And it's like, you want us to fill that hole now? And they're like, yeah, because we're pigs. And it's like, well,
that's not what they're saying.
No, they didn't say they were pigs, but they are pigs. And so they want the federal government in this crisis, while nobody's paying attention, to fill the hole so that there's more meal in the trough. And so, and McConnell's like, no, we're not going to do that. You can have money for hospitals, and we'll do the COVID things, but just because you've mismanaged the state pension fund forever doesn't mean we're going to bail you out. Now let's think about even if they did, shall we? Because they still get COLAs in Illinois. What would be happening, and maybe you people out here in Rhode Island should think about complaining about this, and you should be on Mitch McConnell's side, even if you're a Democrat by trade. You have people in Rhode Island who for 8 years now have gone without COLAs, and they I don't want to say suffered, but they've suffered to an extent. They have less money than they would have had in their pensions, and they've made sacrifices. And so what the people in Illinois are saying is, we want to still be pigs, and we want the pensioners in Rhode Island to pay for it with their federal taxes, to pay more federal taxes in Rhode Island so that the people in Chicago can continue to live like kings, the pensioners. Is that fair? I mean, Rhode Islanders have made sacrifices. Maybe it's time to insist on sacrifices in Illinois. That's my take on it.
All right, Tom, it's actually time for a second message from the Valley Breeze.
Joe is there. I was beginning to wonder if we lost Paul. Are you there?
I'm here.
I'm glad you're there. It's nice to have you with us. For a minute, I was just wondering.
Wait, and we haven't heard the baby, Paul. So Chris is doing a great job.
Paul has managed that whole matter very professionally.
She's downstairs, and of course we have doors on every room, and they're at the far end of the house. So
you really have managed it well. Good for you.
Can't hear it. I'll tell you though, it has been. We had a challenging week because she's teething and 2 teeth came out. We had a horrible night. So.
Yeah, that's what happens.
The only good thing about that is that it ends. Yep.
Anyway, second message. I just want to remind people to pick up the breeze because of the stories we have in it. We have a lot of interesting stories. Ken Pichette of the Manville Counselor, we have a story on him contracting COVID. And now he's going to be helping out with plasma donations, but it was right at the time of Yellow Bag Day, and that's why I didn't know until I read that story that's why Yellow Bag Day got postponed and probably now canceled in Manville, because it was right at that time that Ken got sick, about a week before, and he had written to me and said, I don't know, COVID. He didn't say it was him. I had no idea, but I said, Ken, what, you're in charge of Manville, and whatever you want to do is fine. Well, it turns out he was ill. So you can read all about that in the Valley Breeze, and if you see a little bit of extra trash floating around Manville on the roads, well, it's COVID's fault, because Ken would have had it all picked up by now. But he made he's back and thankfully recovered and feeling well, and we're all very happy about that. So continued good health, Ken Pichette, and thank you for your help with Yellow Bag Day. The story we had here in Woonsocket at the Stadium Theater was before the governor made a decision the day the paper came out, or the night before, to pretty much shut down for the summer and shut down to large crowds. And when I went to speak to Kathy LeVake last week, the executive director at the stadium, that was my question. It's like, you guys can't make money with half a crowd. And she was like, no, we really can't open until we are fully opened. And, keeping in mind some of the things I've heard, off air and stuff, this is scary for places like the stadium, PPAC, any of those big theaters, Trinity, because, like I said, you can't put people in every other seat or every other row and pay for the show. So they're essentially out of business until this COVID thing is completely over. And, the thing I'm proudest of with Kathy is, she's run a very good operation for all these years and continues to. I think the thing I feel the worst about, and one of the things she was talking about is, she sounds so Woonsocket, and I say that in the best way possible. I think a lot of people in this city kind of grew up. Not too many people grew up rich around here, and so they're careful with their money, and they're good stewards of money. And Kathy has been a very good steward, along with the board of directors, has been a good steward of the finances of the Stadium Theater. And so, as she said to me, we don't spend money that we haven't earned yet. And what she means by that is, if we've collected money for a show 2 weeks from now, we're not spending it. That money is in the bank. And when the show is over and the artist is paid and everything's paid out and there's some left over in profits, that's when we say we have money. Not until then. And so they were able to refund money to people who had shows, or shows being canceled or whatever. The money was there, and in that till still available to be refunded without hurting people and without hurting the stadium's reputation. And so I give Kathy a lot of credit. Kathy and her staff. She always credits her staff, and that's what good people do, because she's right. She's got a great staff. Some of the work continues on at the conservatory. She was showing me some of the work going on with dressing rooms now, and she's very proud of what she's done. She and Dennis Tankrell and so many others. But this is, the governor's news on Wednesday night is very bad news for the stadium. It's not to say they're going to go out of business, but it's just they're going to be quiet and dark for a long time. And it's really discouraging. I mean, it's discouraging to me personally, because it was one of the things I intended to volunteer with after retirement. I had a few things lined up in my head that I was going to start to do. And they're all shut down. I got nothing to do. But I guess eventually life will return to normal. But we wish Kathy and the whole stadium family success as best as possible, because I'm sure it was a setback the other night to hear the governor say pretty much no way to large gatherings, at least until the fall. And so it is heartbreaking to see this going on. And when you think about, this is what I mean about, when you think about the money that's not being earned by people, all the artists who would have been on the stadium stage, all the people who do setup for them. There's so many jobs that nobody thinks about. And these are all just quiet in the background. Nobody's been hurt like the arts community has been hurt. And they're really tough times. But anyway, think of the stadium and think of the other nonprofits around who might need some help. If you have a few extra dollars, you might want to keep them going until this thing finally ends. But we wish Kathy well and the whole stadium family well. This is bad news, but anyway. But there was one piece of good news, just unfortunately a little late, but it'll be good again someday. We wanted to point out as I was at the stadium that that parking lot across the street from the stadium has all been redone by the city, and it was. I saw it in progress. I'm going to go by now just to check it out to see. I imagine it's been finished.
Oh, yeah.
It
Beautiful.
was, yeah. And because I was there a week ago.
Smooth like glass.
Yeah. They were
huge.
Yeah,
well lit
yeah.
and easy to see.
Yeah, it's fabulous. So congratulations to the city of Woonsocket. They did a great job for the stadium. Now we just got to get the stadium open again. But well done, and it's sort of a good omen for the future. If you need to talk to us at the Valley Breeze, stories or otherwise, 334-9555. If you want to start out a story, you have a story idea, you can reach out directly to Ethan Shorey. He's the editor, and his email is Ethan, ETHAN, @valleybreeze.com. Thanks.
And Tom, just an opinion, sporting events and concerts will be the last thing that opens.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so that kills the Pawtucket Red Sox. It kills the Providence Bruins. It kills the Newport Tennis Hall of Fame, and it kills the P-PAC and the Stadium Theater.
Yeah.
And the Newport Jazz and Folk.
And all those summer concerts. There was a new venue outdoors in East Providence that were putting on shows, and so there's there's other all those little summer concerts. I'm guessing they're all dead. North Smithfield on the Common, all these little shows that went all summer long. That made summer so special around
the casual
here.
shows.
The casual.
We were talking yesterday. We're in meetings with the Levitt people, and it seems pretty sure that they can't do what they had planned to do. But these are feisty folks. You wait for a news announcement on that.
Really?
They're coming up with something to replace the concerts in the park this year. So look forward to that.
Good for
I
them.
can't make any announcements now. I'm really not appropriate for me to say what I know, but. Yeah, you're not going to see Levitt go away peacefully and quietly.
Good. Oh, we'll wait to hear what they're doing.
We'll take a quick break here on Coffee and More's coming up.
I'm here with Kara Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency. Kara, what's most important to you as a business owner?
The most important thing to me as a business owner is to be there for my customers in the moment of truth. It's not just writing the policy and you're done. It's about being there for my customers when there's an accident, a fire, or even a death. Helping them get through tough moments in life. That's my job as an agent.
You're in good hands with Allstate and Kara and Celeste Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency, 125 Eddie Dowling Highway, across from Dowling Village in North Smithfield, 765-5000.
Our business is truly a referral business, and we have built it based on our premier service level and commitment to what we do. If you are looking for personalized service with people who care, that would be us.
Our family caring for your family. The Holiday Retirement Home is a skilled nursing and rehabilitation facility with a home-like atmosphere where laughter is the best medicine. The Holiday keeps their patients and residents involved in varied activities and events so they have the opportunity to live life to the fullest. The Holiday Retirement Home has their own in-house physical, occupational, and speech therapy staff with more than 300 years of combined experience. Stop in for a tour. The Holiday is right off Route 99 on Sales Hill Road in Manville, and for more information you can visit their website at holidayretirement.com.
Coffee In on ON, AM, and FM with Joe Callahan here with Tom Ward, Paul Willett, Dave Richards, and Dave has got a message from the audience that we need to get to. So, Dave, what does the message
Calling
say?
the switchboard a short time ago before we had the other discussions, but now let's read it. To the panel, what happens when the heat and humidity starts entering the equation of human behavior, especially in the inner cities? I think we got a preview of that in Los Angeles, didn't we?
Yeah, well, they all went to the beach.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
And now the governor out there is closing down the beaches.
But I don't think no, she's not closing down the beaches. She's made it. I'm sure it's going to be very limited. But
they're closing it, Tom. Let me pull up
did that just happen yesterday?
California Governor Gavin Newsom.
California. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Rhode Island. You said I'm sorry. I was thinking about Governor Raimondo.
Because Dave mentioned L.A.
Yes.
And look what happened out there. So Gavin Newsom is temporarily closing beaches after residents congregated there last weekend. Too many people went to the beach. And that's what's going to happen. And in the inner cities, people are just going to be outside trying to cool off if they can't get down to the beach.
Yeah, well, they're going to turn the hydrants back on like the old days, and they'll have to social distance, though. The kid will stand in front of the hydrant, get blown 20 feet, and then they'll get him out of the way and get another kid in front of the hydrant. He'll get blown 20 feet. I'm sure that's, we're laughing, but I'll bet you that's what's going to... We're laughing, but I think that's what's going to happen, is they will make efforts in the inner cities to turn the hydrants back on for the kids or do things like that. That wouldn't shock me.
Well, what does the city do with the splash pad that's here in the city?
It's a good question. I don't know.
The kids away from each other. Yeah, Paul?
Yeah, it'd be like anything else. If they turn that on, they're going to have to control it with staff to just keep kids away. I don't know if it's possible to even open it. In pools, I don't think you'll see city pools open.
Mm-hmm. I don't think anyone staffs the splash pad now.
Right.
Just someone comes.
No, you're right. I guess the question is how many kids is too many kids, and who would do that? And I don't think there's an answer to it. I don't know. My guess is they're going to leave it closed. I think the beaches, the Rhode Island State beaches, my guess is they're just going to limit the parking. They're going to say, when 300 or 500 cars are in the lot, that's it, and they'll close the lots, and people just won't come. So if you're not on your blanket by 7 a.m., you're not going to the beach, and that's my guess, because that's the easy. When you think of Scarborough, you've got the main lot, and then you've got the lot across the street. The lot across the street will never open this year. The main lot will probably allow so many cars, and then they're going to be done. That's my guess. And then the lifeguards are there, so they'll tell people, just make sure you keep a reasonable distance between yourselves.
They tried that in California, Tom, and it really didn't work. I saw people, those not even lifeguards, I think they were California Patrol, were trying to keep people separated on the beach, and it didn't work.
Yeah. Well, it didn't work because people thought things were open and back to normal, and just like a 4-year-old, when you say, okay, we're shutting the beaches again, maybe next time when they reopen them, people will realize that they really do have to pay attention to the cops. That's again, maybe.
Can you imagine a mask when it's like 90 degrees and humid?
No, that was one of the memes making their way around about a month ago, where they had this elderly couple with this sunburned faces, except the mask area was all white, and it said, yes. "Oh, we really loved our cruise."
All right, that's pretty funny. Well, we've come to the end of the program, so we have to wrap things up right now and go out and enjoy the nice rain today. So unless it is going to end though at some point. So
yeah, it's 66 degrees. Can't sneeze at that.
There you go.
Good weekend coming up
today. Yeah, Paul, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks. Didn't have much to say, but it was a pleasure listening to Tom.
All right.
I'm not sure if that's an insult.
Your day will come in June, Paul.
Your day's coming soon enough. It's all yours, buddy.
You know what? I'm giving you your time. You only have a few weeks left.
That's right. A couple more.